The San Francisco 49ers are most likely going to be trading Brandon AIYUK. So today, we are going to be trading him to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we are going to see how good this team could become with the best receiving core that they've had in a long time. And I think by the end of this rebuild, this could become one of the best offenses in the league, with a lot of young players like George Pickens, Pat Freiermuth, Troy Fautanu, Broderick Jones, pretty much this whole offense. So I don't want to waste much time getting into this. So super quick, if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like. It sounds stupid, but it really does help out the channel. And if we can get to 2,000 likes on this video, I will also do a Patriots rebuild with Brandon AIYUK because they're one of the rumored teams to be trading for him. And also be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, because if you like rebuilds, that's literally all I do. And trying to hit 60K by the end of the month. But last thing, old shout out, but still massive shout out to Porter Island for the suggestion of today's video. Their link is in the description. And if you want to shout out, just let me know any fun rebuild ideas y'all have down below. Can be realistic or whatever goofy idea you can come up with. But without further ado, let's get into rebuilding this team, which of course this is a team that doesn't need much of a rebuild. I'm not going to be doing much except building this team. But again, the interesting part is going to be to see how good we can make this team, because I do think they have had a very good offseason so far. I like both of their quarterback moves a lot. I don't know for sure if either of them are going to be great, but very low risk moves. And they made this defense even better with the addition of Patrick Queen. So let's just get straight to the end of year one and we will see how this team does with Brandon AIYUK. Okay, well, honestly, I didn't expect to make the playoffs in year one. I thought our team was too good to make the playoffs in Madden, but we finish 11-6 and make the wild card. But let's check out our season stats. Russell Wilson, 3,700 yards, 34 touchdowns, only 10 picks. Do we have the old Russell Wilson back? That would be cool. Najee Harris, 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns, 1,100 yards for AIYUK, 9 touchdowns. He was very good. Close to 1,000 yards for Pickens, but not quite. Broderick Jones was terrible at left tackle, but the rest of the line was good. Good amount of TFLs and then sacks. 16 for Watt, 10.5 for Hayward, 10 for Highsmith, and then tons of interceptions. I don't know if I've ever seen this many in Madden. How many is that? I don't feel like doing math. How many is that? 21. That might be the most I've ever seen in simulation. I think we did pretty well this year. Ooh, and I wonder, you know, the point of this is Brandon AIYUK, but is Russell Wilson gonna be up there for MVP? Is at number 6, so as long as he develops a little bit, he could be our starter for this entire rebuild. But Najee Harris at 4 for Offensive Player of the Year, and surprisingly, no Brandon AIYUK. Usually he wins it for the NFC. Best receiver? Number 3. Okay, we'll take it. It's only year 1. But we have a couple scenarios here. One last hurrah already. Probably Cam Hayward. Yeah. So at least we get morale for that, but he probably will retire. Maybe. A lot of the time they don't actually retire if you get a one last hurrah scenario, which is a certified EA moment. And then we also have a first of many. We'll go play it cool, y'all know me. But we are facing the Jaguars here, and if you've seen the channel before, we don't usually have the best luck against the Jaguars in the playoffs, and we don't have good luck against 9-8 teams in the playoffs. If we win this game, it's a miracle. Yeah, big surprise. But now in the offseason here, we likely aren't gonna do much in free agency, so let's just get straight to the draft, and let's see, trying to make this team as good as possible for the future. I'm thinking D-line. Let's see who we can find. Also, Cam Hayward didn't retire. Who would have guessed? But here in the draft, we do not pick until the 2nd round. I had to give up our 1st round pick to get Brandon AIYUK, but I ended up getting a 2nd round pick back with him, so I guess it was about fair. But I think we'll go with Leslie Peel with our 1st pick. Great speed, elite acceleration, B-man, B-zone, looks really good. Not the best corner I've ever seen, but maybe like a 75 overall. Normal dev, but we'll see. And then with our second round pick, of course, both of them happen to be in the 20s, both late seconds. I think we're gonna go with, what's his name? Denario Simmons or Sermons. Good strength, great speed, and elite acceleration, and a really good run defender for like just a pure speed rusher. So I think he could be really, really good, and we kind of need D-line right now, but just for when Cam Hayward retires, we're definitely gonna need D-line. So we'll take him. Normal dev, really? I mean, I guess we can't complain too much. We're in the late 2nd, but we took 2 really good athletes, and both of them won't be able to develop because EA. But hey, I think they're good overalls. But okay, here's how we did in the draft. Honestly, for not having a 1st round pick, not even having a pick until the end of the 2nd round, this was pretty good. Both Peel and Sermons are 76 overalls, Daniels. I wish either one of them had a dev trait, but both are good players. Both are probably like mid-first round talents, I would guess. So that's good value. And then I also took Jonathan Garner at guard just because that could become an issue for us. And he actually does have hidden dev. Good pass blocker. And then I don't know what the CPU did. Immediately after that, 64 overall linebacker, who's also 24 years old. He's not even young. He's old and bad. Great. Did I forget? This might be the worst CPU draft I've ever seen. Another 64 and a 60 overall. Vernon Griffin. He was the worst player drafted. Awesome. Shaheem Rogers was also down here. And Brian Pugh. I'm firing whoever our, like, GM is. I guess I'm the GM here, but whoever made those picks is getting fired. But okay, here's a look at the team heading into year 2. Really not that much different from year 1, just because we didn't do anything in free agency. But this offseason, we should be able to do a lot. And we will see how we do this year. I mean, we very well could have a down year. I wouldn't be surprised if we went like 8 and 9 or something, but we should be able to do pretty well. Also, unfortunately, despite having a very, very good year, Russell Wilson went down in overall. He didn't develop enough to keep from regressing past where he started, so that's unlucky, but we'll see how he does in year 2. So let's actually get to the midseason point of year 2, and we will see how we do. Okay, okay. Pretty good prediction for this to be a random down year. We're 1 and 6. Why? Our 85 overall defense is 31st in the league, because that makes sense. Thanks, EA. Very cool. What do we even do about this? TJ Watt has 2 sacks. Patrick Queen is our only player with an interception. That's awesome. Skill issue. We should build a better team, to be honest. Well, at least we'll get a good draft pick, I hope. Nah, we'll probably bounce back and go like 8 and 9 or something, but we have some re-signings. Brandon AIYUK should have gotten an extension when we traded for him, but you can't really, well, not really. You just can't extend players early for some reason, or at least like whenever. I guess you can't extend players whenever in real life, but you know what I mean. And he doesn't take our offer. That's scary. Pat Fryermuth, 6 years, 98 mil. He doesn't take it either. Okay, well, I have a feeling being 1 and 6 is, you know, having an impact on this. James Daniels, I guess, will re-sign 3 years, 23 mil. He takes it. Okay, cool. Jalen Warren also isn't interested, but 4 years, 30. He takes it. Justin Fields, I don't think we're going to re-sign. I think once Russell Wilson retires, we're just going to find a different QB, because Justin Fields really isn't good in this game. I still have faith in real life, but in Madden, I don't. Then Cam Hayward, assuming he doesn't retire, 1 year's 21 mil, that's fine. He takes it. And then I think that's all we're going to do for now. And obviously, we need these 2 players back, but we'll see what happens. I went very player-friendly and even more money for AIYUK, and he still rejected it. So, I mean, we're going to find a way to get him back either way. It's just a little harder than I expect. Okay, we finished 7 and 10. Literally 1 game off of what I predicted at the start of the year. I know this game too well. We did even worse than what I was being pessimistic with, but such is life in this game. But Russell Wilson, almost 4,200 yards, 30 touchdowns, 13 picks. Good year still. Wasn't his fault, which is surprising. I thought if we struggled, it would be his fault, but it wasn't. Did we run the ball? Najee Harris? Why did Cordell Patterson get so many touches? I mean, that's not a crazy amount, but these are weird stats. Less than 1,000 yards for Najee, but 4.7 per carry, 8 touchdowns. Like, he was good when he got the ball. It's almost like, you know, I'm sure we had Cordell Patterson as our receiving back, but like, that didn't even eat into his carries that much. It's just like we didn't run the ball. But Brandon AIYUK, 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns. We need him back. Almost 1,000 yards for Pickens, 7 touchdowns. Even Roman Wilson did pretty well. Broderick Jones was terrible again. I'm wondering if I should switch Troy Fatanu and Broderick Jones, because, I mean, you know, it would probably be better that way. I might do that. But Peyton Wilson, 147 tackles. I didn't necessarily mean to have him as the number 1 linebacker. I think he was our number 2 sub linebacker, and that made him the number 1. I don't know. But good amount of TFLs, 17 for Highsmith, sacks, 14.5 for Watt, 11.5 for Hayward, 11 for Highsmith. And then interceptions, 6 for Queen, 2 for Porter, and then 1 for 3 different players. So it looks like our defense bounced back in the second half of the year, but it still wasn't enough. But no Steelers up here for MVP. Mac Jones on the Vikings up here as per usual. Brandon AIYUK all the way down at 4 for Offensive Player of the Year with 1,500 yards, 15 touchdowns, 3 quarterbacks above him. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Max Crosby, TJ Watt at 5, Patrick Queen at 7. Oh yeah, I guess he had a lot of interceptions. But nobody up here for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Of course, it goes to a Browns player. And then Peel at 8 for Defensive Rookie of the Year, Sermons at 10, whatever. Let's get into the re-signing period, and assuming we can get both AIYUK and Freiermuth back, we should be able to have a good offseason. We will see. I mean, like I said, we're going to find a way to get AIYUK back. We'll tag him if we have to, but hopefully we don't have to. Is that the same Super Bowl again? I've said it before, I'll say it again. The Packers are the new Cowboys in Madden simulation, where they're just in the Super Bowl every year. They also won back-to-back. That's crazy. But for Brandon AIYUK, I mean, he rejected 6 years, 174 mil. So I know he's asking, what, 30 mil? See if he takes 6 years, 189. This is 31 and a half, I guess, per year. And he doesn't take it. Well, we're tagging him. The tag is 30 mil, so I guess you get what you ask for. And then Freiermuth, 5 years. Isn't this less than what we offered him at the midseason? What did we offer him? It was 6 years, 98. We're gonna have to go very player friendly, and I don't even know if he's gonna take it. It says he's interested, but apparently not. 6 years, 106 mil. Okay, he does take it. This game stresses me out more than it should. But we are gonna let Justin Fields go, of course. We'll stick with Russell Wilson for now, but more than likely by the end of this, we're gonna have a different quarterback, because I don't know how much longer he's gonna play for. He got superstar dev this year, but not last year. Weird. But okay, we got everyone back, so let's get into free agency. Oh, and also Cam Hayward retired, which, you know, I should have expected. I just wasn't thinking about it right now. I guess I did mention it earlier a few times, but that's something we will probably have to address here. So let's see who's available in free agency. All right, well, I feel the need to sign good players in free agency after going 7-10. So I was originally just gonna go for Aleem McNeil, but I thought, you know, we should go for someone else good, and we kind of need a corner. Like, that's probably our weakest position other than D-line. Our O-line isn't great either. It's just young and has a lot of potential, but our corner group could use like one more good one, so we will go for Charvarius Ward. Well, really, I mean, we shouldn't need to upgrade the defense, but welcome to Madden NFL 24. Things don't exactly make sense here, so we'll go for a couple good defensive players. Also, I don't know, the Lions must hate Aleem McNeil, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen them re-sign him. Maybe they just become broke. I have no idea, but he's always available. So we'll see if we can sign these two players, and we do. Okay, cool. So our defense should be maybe the best in the league this year. I guess it is only an 85. I'm surprised it's not better, though. How is it not better? Oh, it's an 87. It was lying to me. Still, I'm surprised it isn't a little better than that, but whatever. Let's get to the draft, and let's see what we want to do. Honestly, we're kind of at the point where I don't know what we're gonna need, which is, I guess, a good position to be in. But okay, here in the draft, I really have no idea what to do here. Of course, you know, the goal was to have a very good team by the end of this, and we have a good team right now. I just don't know what we can upgrade through the draft. Maybe O-line, but we can take that later. I don't want to take a lineman in the first round. None of them looked that good. I think I have a plan for the second round, but in the first round, I think we're going to go with a receiver. I like Javier Benedict, but he's not supposed to go until the second to third round. I might go with Luke Compton. Elite acceleration, great change direction, good speed, A spec catch, A to C medium route, hopefully at least a B, B short route, bad deep route, and only C release, but I think his other traits might make up for that. I don't know if he is the best receiver here. He is 23, though. What if we go with Lamar Horton's the youngest? He doesn't look bad, and actually has good deep route as a playmaker. You know what? We'll take him. Hidden dev, not great speed, but 91 acceleration, 93 agility. Sounds good. I don't think he's a crazy good overall, but maybe like a 75, so we'll take it. And now in the second round, here's what I'm thinking about doing. We might go with a QB, because we're gonna need a quarterback soon. Russell Wilson isn't gonna be here forever, obviously. Who do I think is good, though? Honestly, none of these quarterbacks look all that good. They all have a pretty major flaw, but I think we'll go with Matthew Benedict. Bad short accuracy, bad throw on the run, but oh, he only has great throw power. I want elite. Okay, we might go with Jonathan Cage. The problem with him, though, is I just don't know if he's that good. Maybe we shouldn't go with the quarterback. These guys looked better when I was looking at them earlier. Duvon Abbott. Do I want to try to pronounce that for the whole rebuild? I don't know. He also has bad play action. And for strong arms, I always look for elite throw power and A deep accuracy. He only has B, which I guess is close enough. We'll just go with Matthew Benedict. I like his deep accuracy, and he at least has great throw power, even though it isn't elite. We'll take him. Normal dev. I mean, I expected normal dev, to be fair, but it's still disappointing. And last pick, I think we'll go with a lineman. I don't know which one, though. There are a lot of them. You know what? Y'all know I love picking my centers. Greg Sanderson looks pretty good. At least good for everything at the combine, with elite change direction, agility, and acceleration. Great strength. Not supposed to go until day 3, but lots of A ratings and not that bad of power. 74 for a finesse guy, so we'll take him. Hidden dev might be a starter somewhere this year. We'll see. But okay, here's how we did in the draft. It definitely wasn't great. I didn't think it would be, to be fair, but Lamar Horton's even worse than I expected. He's only a 74. I thought he would be like a 75 or higher, so that's unlucky. Matthew Benedict is a 72, which, by the way, I think I found out why I was struggling so much to figure out which of these quarterbacks were better. They were all the exact same overall, so I guess we went with the right one. I'm sure the other two had dev traits, though. Yep, Abbott had a dev trait, and Cage had a dev trait, of course. My fault, I guess. And then Greg Sanderson is nowhere near as good as I thought he would be. I thought he could be like a 76 or 7. Honestly, I don't really know why he's only a 73. He has 90 impact block, 88 lead block, 89 strength. I guess just his regular blocking isn't that good, but he has good finesse, so would he go up at guard to like a 75 or something? Pretty good guess. He's a 75 at guard, so we'll see where we want to play him. I don't know. And then my last pick was Keelan Wooten. He's a good corner, 75 overall. And then the CPU picked a good running back, Sean Vance. Definitely did better than last year, but I picked worse than last year. Not that we needed a running back, but I guess we'll take it. So yeah, not the best draft ever, but there wasn't a whole lot we could have done. I feel stupid though. I should have definitely done this in the first round. I focus scouted this safety, Thaddeus Torrance, and then I just didn't take him. I thought he looked really good because he was listed as a run support and had B-man and B-zone, and he was very good, so I should have taken him in round 1. I don't know why I didn't. He would have started. But okay, here we are heading into year 3, and we really still haven't done much to this offense. It's really just the Steelers offense plus Brandon AIYUK, and I guess we're gonna start Horton over Roman Wilson just because we spent a high draft pick on Horton. We could also start Sanderson at center, but Zach Frazier's been pretty good, so we'll keep him there for now. Hopefully we got our down year out of the way last year. Hopefully that doesn't become a trend. And the defense is looking good, really. Again, mostly just the Steelers defense, but I guess the D-line's different and the corners are mostly different, so we've done a little bit here. So let's again get to the midseason point and hopefully aren't 1-6. Okay, we are 5-1 at the midseason. Definitely better than last year. I didn't think we would be doing this well. I thought we would do pretty well, or at least should do well, but we will definitely take 5-1. Now, of course, we're gonna have a lot of re-signings to worry about here. We gotta re-sign Brandon AIYUK. I mean, likely if the Steelers were trading for Brandon AIYUK, like I said earlier, they would just extend him immediately, but he's refusing to re-sign here. We'll go, I think this is like the same deal we offered him last year. We'll see if he takes it now. He still doesn't take it, even though it's way over very player friendly. TJ Watt will go 4 years, 92 mil, which by the way, I just kind of glossed over that. We have to re-sign TJ Watt, and it isn't even like expensive at all. 4 years, 92 mil. He takes it. Isn't that less per year than Brandon AIYUK is asking? Wasn't that only like 25 per year? Something like that. 24. That's interesting. George Pickens will go 4 years, 62 mil. He takes it. I don't think Patrick Queen should be due for a contract yet, but he does re-sign. Ooh, Najee Harris. Also Deshaun Elliott, who I don't think we're gonna bring back. Russell Wilson. Okay, so pretty much everyone is due for a contract this year. But Najee, we will re-sign. He's been good, assuming he wants to, which I guess he doesn't. You know what? Let's just wait until the end of the year for the rest of these, because we're gonna have to decide between Russell Wilson and Najee Harris, I think. So let's get to the end of the year and we will see how we finish. Okay, well, super quick, here we are at the end of year number 3, and if you've seen one of these videos before, y'all know why we're here. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like, be sure to subscribe. Again, what did I say? 2,000 likes, and you know, I'll do a rebuild of a different team with Brandon AIYUK, because I mean, we don't even know for sure if he's gonna get traded, which by the way, if he gets traded before the time this video comes out, I'm gonna be really upset. I guess I'll maybe still upload it, but if he gets traded to a team that isn't the Steelers, I'm not gonna be very happy. We'll see. But yeah, also let me know which team you would want to see me rebuild with him, or just whatever goofy thing you can come up with. But also, before I show how we did, if you didn't notice, Lamar Horton has X Factor. Most of the time when we take playmaker receivers, they have either normal or star, but I guess I have taken a few that aren't a great overall, but they have X Factor. So very good pick. Glad we decided to start him. I think that's our one superstar or better dev trait player we've drafted so far, so I'm glad we at least got one. In year number 3, we finished 14-3, and we made the playoff. Now, we didn't get a first round bye somehow. Also, we are going to be taking on the Broncos in the wild card, who are 9-8, and they also beat us in week 18, so that's great. Surely we'll win that game. But Russell Wilson, very similar year to last year, 4,100 yards, but 36 touchdowns, only interceptions, 72 completion percentage. You know, maybe Matthew Benedict will never need to start. I mean, we'll definitely re-sign Russell Wilson after a year like that. Hopefully he gets X Factor, but I don't know. He's likely never going to reach an 80 overall again, but I guess he is pretty close right now. It's just he's going to regress. He's definitely playing better than an 80 overall or 79, which big shocker there. But Najee Harris, 1,700 yards, 5.9 per carry, 18 touchdowns. He was insane. 10 for Jalen Warren. 1,300 yards for AIYUK, 11 touchdowns. Really good year. Almost 1,000 for Pickens. Horton didn't do much as a rookie, but he was all right. The blocking was better this year, I guess. Our interior definitely was. Our tackles weren't amazing, though. Okay, I know there's the whole thing about, you know, quarterback basically like 100% impacting how your offensive line plays in this game, right? Like if you have a quarterback that just doesn't have a certain trait, I think it is, your offensive line will play horribly. But if there's any quarterback that, you know, should have the bad trait and get sacked a lot, even with a good offensive line, it's probably Russell Wilson. Like, let's be real. He gets himself sacked a decent bit. Or he's weird. He just like ducks down and takes it. Like he doesn't even try for some reason, at least sometimes. But Patrick Queen, 104 tackles, led the team, 100 for Peyton Wilson, 19 TFLs for Benton, but sacks, not great. 11.5 for TJ Watt, which not great again. 7 for Alex Highsmith, sure, whatever. And then no interior pressure, really. There's always got to be some underperformance on the team. But Leslie Peel and Joey Porter Jr. with 2 picks, and then 1 for 4 different players. But MVP goes to Mahomes, Russell Wilson at 6 again. Najee Harris all the way down at 4 for Offensive Player of the Year. Again, beat out by 2 QBs and then Rashee Rice. Awesome. But Defensive Player of the Year goes to Danielle Hunter, TJ Watt all the way down at 10. Thanks, Madden. Lamar Horton at 3 for Offensive Rookie of the Year, and then no Steelers for Defensive Rookie of the Year. So we have a really good team on paper and we had a good record, but outside of like Russell Wilson and Najee Harris and I guess Brandon AIYUK, our team wasn't that good. I don't know, our stats weren't at least. I mean, like yards and everything, that's cool, but like individual player stats just weren't great for some reason. And also, we have a playoff blizzard here for the Broncos wildcard game. Surely this will go well. Surely a worse overall team won't win in Madden. That would be crazy. That doesn't happen every single game. No, now that I'm saying all that, we'll probably win, but can we beat the Broncos, Russell Wilson's now former team? We lost in week 18 to them, but we do beat them here. Okay, good. If we didn't, I don't even know. Ooh, and we get a decent amount of upgrades. Lots of starters here, but we are going to be taking on the Bills in the divisional. No scenarios here, nothing too crazy. Whenever we win a game in the playoffs, it feels like more relief than joy. Like we should be winning all these games, but I know what's going to happen sooner or later. Okay, we do beat the Bills. Good. 24-7, we destroy them. And now we're going to be taking on the unbeatable team. Well, I guess they're not unbeatable because the Packers have beat them in the Super Bowl the past 2 years in a row, but the Kansas City Chiefs at 14-3, just like us, but they're an 89 overall, so we can't really complain if we lose this game. We're gonna do at least one more year after this, but I mean, we've already made this a pretty decent roster. Let's see, 87 overall, where does that rank? I would guess top 5. The Ravens are an 88, the Chiefs are an 89, and then there are a couple other 87s, so we're like top 3. I don't know what's happened to some of these teams, but usually like the 49ers, the Falcons, they're usually up here with us. The Eagles, they're all usually like an 88 by this point, but not here for some reason. It's interesting. But let's see if we can move on to our first Super Bowl here. My guess is no, but we will see what happens. And we do not. It is the Chiefs beating us 28-20. We're gonna do one more year, like I said, because I think we can have the best roster in the league. Now, can I promise a Super Bowl? No, but I guess rare Madden simulation W. I mean, we beat the 2 lower overall teams and the higher overall team beat us, so fair. But let's see, for the rest of our re-signings, we actually have a little more money now, 54 mil. Brandon AIYUK is still being a little, I don't even want to say what, but 6 years, 213 mil. Finally, it only took us like, I guess 3 years after trading for him to come to an agreement. But let me restructure like every every deal on the team, and we will re-sign. You know what? Here's what we'll do first. We'll re-sign Najee Harris, so we can also go and restructure his. We'll go 4 years, 49 mil. He takes it. And okay, let me restructure everything. Okay, I restructured everyone, and now we have 56 mil again. So we are going to re-sign Russell Wilson. We kind of drafted that quarterback for no reason, but we'll go 2 years. I don't know. This is super cheap for how he's been playing. 2 years, 30. I feel like we should just go very player friendly to be at least almost realistic, but even then it's only 3 years, 53. That's crazy. We'll go 3 years, 66, I guess. I don't feel good about it still, but I guess other teams are getting away with contracts like that, so whatever. It's unrealistic across the league, so I guess by that logic, it's realistic. Oh, and Isaac Seumalo's also here. I didn't even notice that earlier, but we'll go 3 years, 42 mil. He takes it. And then I think we're going to look to upgrade at safety. So let's get into free agency, and again, this is where we are just going to spend all the money we have left, because why not? But in free agency, we really aren't going to go, I mean, we're going to spend all of our money, but we can't do anything too crazy. We're going to try to sign Tyron Smith and Geno Stone. I guess Geno Stone's going through every team in the division. If the Browns sign him after this, then he will play for every team in the division, but we'll see if we can get these two. If we can't, I have a different plan at safety. I also kind of wanted another Ravens player in Justin Madubuike. Not that we really need D-line, but it would be an overall upgrade. I guess we do kind of need D-line. Our D-line hasn't been amazing, but we'll sign these two, assuming they want to. They do both sign, and they both sign with us. So let's restructure both of them, and let's see if that frees up much more money, or enough money to do anything else. Okay, not really, unfortunately, but I think we might trade for a player during the draft. We will see, because we don't really have much to draft. There are a couple positions, but we'll see what we want to do. But here in the draft, like I said, we're thinking about trading for a player. I mean, it's kind of tough because we have no cap space, so we might have to trade for someone on a rookie contract, which would be fine, but also we'll see. Well, let me check who's available first. I already kind of saw who could be here, and it isn't really great. At least for our positions in need. There are a lot of quarterbacks again, but obviously not a need. Okay, yeah, none of the guards are all that good. I mean, they're okay, but there are no first-round talents. And our O-line's been pretty good. And there aren't really any crazy D-linemen, so let's see who we can trade this pick away for. All right, kind of a weird trade, but we are going to be giving our first-round pick and Broderick Jones for Chris Jones. Definitely a weird trade, the more that I think about it, but we're also getting a third-round pick. We're giving up a lot for an older defensive tackle, which is maybe questionable, but I think it's worth it. I like Broderick Jones in real life, but he hasn't been that good here at all. It also said the Chiefs need a defensive tackle before we took Chris Jones from them, so good luck with that. But now our defense has legitimately zero excuses to not get like 60 sacks. I don't know how many it's gonna get. Probably not even close, but we'll see. How many did we have this last year? 30? Okay, we should have had more than that pretty clearly, but whatever. But now this is maybe the only pick I'm gonna take here. Let's go with, I don't even know. I don't know what to do here. Dante McLaughlin, sure. Normal dev, whatever. Not a very important draft. Our team is good. But here's how we did in the draft. It was, you know, about how you would expect for picking our first pick in the late second. McLaughlin was whatever. Words are hard right now. And then I also took Alani Carey. He's not, I mean, he's good, but I don't know why I took a running back. He's going to be like fourth string. Whatever. He's decent. That was a good value pick, I guess. But let's get into, I think, the final year here. We have a good roster, so we'll see how it's looking. But okay, we are an 89 overall heading into the final year here. Only an 87 offense, but a 92 overall defense. So a little bit of a difference there, but our offense still should be good. I hope it's not better than our defense, like is usually the case. We also are only a 44% scheme, so that's not great. I guess we're not really a good scheme fit for anything, but whatever. But let me check real quick where an 89 overall ranks in the league. My guess is we are number 2 to the Chiefs, but I guess we could be the best. We could be tied with them. I don't know. No, we just have the best roster in the league. The Chiefs are only an 88, so we are better. I think the Ravens are also still an 88. Yeah. And then was there one more? The Eagles. Okay, so we do have the best roster in the league. So hey, I achieved my goal. We'll see if this team actually does well though. And I feel like we built this team pretty realistically. Like we didn't make any too crazy of trades. I guess we traded for Chris Jones, but like that's it. I think that was the only trade we made outside of the Brandon AIYUK trade. So maybe that's unrealistic that we only made one, but whatever. It's definitely an expensive offensive team, but still a good team. So I think we're just gonna get straight to the end of the year, and we will see how this team does. My guess is 9-8 and miss the playoffs. We'll see. No, I think we'll do well. We'll see. I'm so pessimistic, but we've actually done pretty well here, at least last year. Okay, we finish 11-6, and we make the playoffs. Actually, not too far off of what I predicted. At 9-8, we probably should have been better than 11-6, but at least we made the playoffs. And we did have the best defense in the league in terms of points per game and the 8th offense. That feels about fair. And we had the most sacks in the league. Okay, cool. Now, there's one problem, which it looks like it got better. We'll get to that in a second, but let's check out our season stats. Russell Wilson was fine. 3,800 yards, 28 touchdowns, only 5 picks. Good year. Not many interceptions. Doesn't look like he necessarily carried or anything, but he was good. Almost 1,600 yards for Najee, 5.6 per carry, 17 touchdowns. We really should have been running more, to be honest. I mean, I guess we ran a lot if you include Jalen Warren too, but Najee Harris has been crazy here. Brandon AIYUK, almost 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns. Really, he was our only receiver to do anything, though. The blocking was good. Troy Fatano at the midseason already allowed like 5 sacks or something, but he got a lot better, thankfully. And then Peyton Wilson, 112 tackles, led the team. TFLs, 12 for Highsmith, led the team. Not too many, though. But sacks, 15 for Alex Highsmith, led the team. Only 12.5 for TJ Watt. TJ Watt's been good here, but disappointing when you know he's been putting up seasons like this in real life, so whatever, though. Not much I can do about that. Chris Jones, 7.5 sacks, that's whatever. Okay, and our interceptions did get better, which I'll just say we had 0 at the midseason, but Joey Porter ended up with 2 and then 1 for 4 different players, so better than 0, thankfully. But I don't understand how a team with Joey Porter, Peyton Wilson, Patrick Queen, Charvarius Ward, Geno Stone, and Minkah Fitzpatrick had 0 interceptions at the midseason, which, by the way, Geno Stone and Minkah Fitzpatrick finished with 0 interceptions. I love this game. Nothing wrong with it. But MVP goes to Josh Allen here. There's some weird stuff. Kenny Pickett on the Jets at number 9. Okay. Offensive Player of the Year also goes to Breece Hall, so the Jets are doing well here, I guess. AIYUK at 4, Harris at 6, Alex Highsmith at 4 for Defensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt all the way down at 9, but nobody up here, or well, actually, Vaughn Southward at 3 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Huge, our 3rd string tight end, and then nobody for Defensive Rookie of the Year. So really, kind of a disappointing year, honestly. I mean, we got better, I guess. We were only 4-3 at the midseason, but, you know, with the best roster in the league, we were, I guess, the 7th best team, so whatever. Also, the Jags went 13-4. They're probably an 83 overall. Great. But we're going to be taking on, speaking of 83 overalls, we're going to be taking on the New England Patriots, who only had 1 less win than us at 7 less overall. Is Mikey McDingle the worst coach of all time? Possibly. Up for debate. Patriots had the number 1 defense in terms of yards. That's something. But this very well could be the final game of the rebuild, unfortunately. So let's simulate it out. You know, be sure to like the video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I've plugged that enough, but still. Let's see what happens. Okay, we do win 35-21. Cool. And we get upgrades for both of our safeties. Hopefully they can actually get interceptions now. And we are going to be taking on the Bills in the divisional once again. They finished with a better record than us, despite being 5 less overall, 5 overall lower. So let's see if we can beat them, I hope. And we do, 21-17. We're going to be taking on the Chiefs in the conference championship too. So this is pretty much just a repeat of last year. Other than the wild card game, I don't remember who we played in the wild card last year. But, you know, I don't think I've ever seen the Chiefs this low of an overall at the end of a rebuild before. They're only an 87. You know, they only have an 83 overall defense. Surely that isn't because we took Chris Jones, but still, it's interesting to see. So let's see if we can beat the Chiefs and move on to our first Super Bowl here. Definitely not the Steelers' first Super Bowl, but our first Super Bowl. And we do not. Of course, the Chiefs upset us 28-14. I'm in pain.